Hi, it's Gavin McKenzie here from About Timepieces. As you know, we specialise in limited editions and unique pieces from independent brands. So this is definitely an independent brand, a very small brand, one that was only founded a couple of years back and one that you probably haven't come across before. Belchengruppe is the name of the brand, based out of Basel and started by a chap called Christoph Schnee, who's actually a designer in a commercial sense rather than a watch designer. And what he's done is he's brought together experts in different types of design field, and they've come up with this design and a few others in the collection. This one's name is a 1247 Visuren number 22. It's not exactly the easiest to remember or even say, but I suppose that's what happens when you have designers naming their watch collections. No offence to designers in any sense meant. As I said, founded in Basel, and they started in 2020, just at the beginning of when COVID came round. I'm sure everyone remembered when that was. So on to the watch itself. The case is the same design case as in all of their collection currently. It's an octagon shaped case. This one in particular is fully brushed all the way around. It has extended lugs, and looking at it, it looks almost like some sort of sci-fi spacecraft or something along those lines, just purely based on the shape of the case. The dial itself is made out of brass. It has a pad printed design on it, which is in white and orange. Every third line is orange, and those lines, interestingly enough, when you look hard enough, you notice that those orange lines actually point to the 12-hour markers, which I didn't initially actually notice. It just looked like a pleasant design. So the design is supposed to represent the sunburst over the Belchen Mountains. Now, if you want to geek out on what that's all about, you can go onto our journal on our website where I've written a review, and you can find out all about that. It's basically 4 mountains. The Celts used to use it as, or it's believed the Celts used to use the mountains as an indicator for the changing of seasons. That's kind of like a quick overview of what it's about. The case is 40 wide by 47 long, so it's a good size. Interestingly enough, the dial is only actually 30 millimeters across. So although off the wrist it looks actually quite big, when you put it on the wrist it looks about right, in my opinion anyway. Going back to the dial, something interesting, we've got the sub-dial at 9 o'clock. It's actually part of the same piece of brass, but it's kind of got an indent in it, and at the bottom level, if you look hard, and my eyesight's getting pretty bad to be fair, through a loop you can definitely see it, but in normal daylight you can also see it. It's just a very, very, very faint circular guilloche to that sub-dial, which is interesting. The pad printing had to be done in order to get the perfectly straight lines in the right place. No other method of printing would be able to make that happen. And the orange lines, which I've mentioned go to the hour markers, actually have loom on them as well, which is another neat design trait. The ends of the hands, the hands are sort of squarish, quite chunky, but kind of like a decent proportion of those hands have orange paint on them, which actually are loomed as well. Turning it over, we've actually got a polished back as opposed to the brushed back, which we had, the brushed case elsewhere. The only thing on it we've basically got is the Belchengruppe logo, and there's a little inscription of text which basically shows the reference number of that particular model and the number in the piece. Incidentally, this is a 50-piece edition, so they're not making many at all. It's powered by the Sellita SW290-1, standard workhorse, automatic movement, 38 to 40 hours power reserve, runs at 28,800 VPH. So yeah, There's no markings on this watch that says it's water resistant, but it has been tested to 30 metres. I didn't mention it's got hacking seconds, so I mean, it doesn't make that much difference to most people, but it's a neat function that's there. As I said, 50 pieces, price point is 2,725 Swiss francs. You can buy it on their website directly, or I'm sure you can contact them via Instagram or whatever. Instagram is where we have loads of interesting things going on. As I said, independent watchmakers only, and limited editions and unique pieces only. So check that out. There's loads of content from Geneva Watch Days. Subscribe below so you don't miss our next review, and see you next time.